John Schneyer. Quiet Heroes. Quiet Heroes, John Schneyer.
Have you ever put off doing something really important? And put it off, and put it off, always thinking you'll have more time, and then running out of time. Contest master, come with me. Fellow Toastmasters, imagine you are with me in a church filled with friends and family. My Father is lying before me, still and waiting. If you have ever gotten nervous about giving a speech, maybe you can imagine the fear I felt that day delivering my Father's eulogy. As I thought about everything my Father meant to me, all the fond memories I had, I realized these were words he would never hear. I had run out of time. Dad was gone. I was so upset. I was losing control. When suddenly, I shot up in bed and realized I had been dreaming. I was lying in bed that morning, scared, shaken, soaked in sweat, but very relieved that my father was still alive. I started to think about my dad and the other people who had helped shape my life. I started to think about my heroes. I grew up in New York, and on the evening news we would see a fire raging in a high-rise building. Imagine you see a fireman coming down a long, tall ladder with a baby cradled in one arm and a puppy dog tucked under the other. What would you call such a person? A hero, right? Of course. He's going to get the keys to the city. He'll make the headline news. You might even see him that night on The Tonight Show. I wanted to be that fireman. What about the quiet heroes behind the scenes? What about people like the fire inspectors? You know, they write codes, they do inspections in the heat of summer and the cold of winter, all focused on preventing fires. They save lots of puppy dogs and many babies every year. Do you see them in the headlines? No, our quiet heroes are harder to recognize. When I was growing up, I loved baseball. And my hero then, and maybe one of yours, was Mickey Mantle, star center fielder for the New York Yankees. Oh man, Mickey, he was big, he was strong, and Mickey could run like a deer. He hit towering home runs. Mickey got a lot of headlines. I wanted to be just like Mickey. But my father, he's just an ordinary guy. There's no headlines for him. There wasn't a day in my life that I didn't see my dad limp because of the terrible pain caused by his bad back. He used to take the train into New York City to work every day, where the constant jostling on the train would shoot pain up his spine. And yet, this ordinary guy would take me out after dinner every night to practice baseball. He would pitch to me, he would hit to me, and he would squat down on a little stool so I could pitch to him. Come on, John, give me a hard one. I would rear back and fire a flaming fastball. Bam! Dad would come up shaking his hands and, oh, that's what I wanted. That was a really good one. You know, even Mickey Mantle couldn't have hit that one, John. You know, he was always so encouraging. And me, I just took him for granted. Isn't that what dads are for? After 3 years of practicing with my dad, I finally got to pitch in a game. Oh, you would have seen my father beaming with joy and happiness. Good job, son. Your hard work has finally paid off. It wasn't until years later that I realized it was actually Dad's hard work that had paid off. Sometimes our dreams are about the things we want to have. The fancy house, the fast car, lots of money. My dream showed me what I already had, but didn't appreciate. I called my dad later that day, and I told him about my dream. I told him about some of the things I'd learned from him. Things like the importance of being on time, being dependable, and trusting myself. He was so happy I took the time to let him know the difference he made in my life. Sometimes our heroes are right in front of us, but we don't see them. Who are your heroes? Have you told them? Will you tell them? I challenge you. Recognize the quiet heroes in your life. Make a list. Write down their names and what they've done for you. Let them know how much you appreciate them while they're still around to hear it. Let them know while you still have time. Let them know before you are sitting in a church and they are lying before you